At 18 months, Lindsey's world went silent. At age 3, a diagnosis of autism, ADD, ADHD, expressive and regressive language disorders, and hypotonia painted a future without words, without connection, without hope. Experts said that she would never speak again, never make social or academic gains, but they didn't know Lindsey, or the power of perseverance, faith, and science. Through the years of dietary changes, therapeutic interventions, and unwavering dedication, Lindsey defied the odds. Her ATEC score dropped from 98 to just 2. Today, she is bright, funny, full of life, learning, growing, and proving what's possible. Now, 11 years later, science is finally catching up. Genetic research is unlocking new answers, revealing what made Lindsey's autism present in the way that it did, and more importantly, how she can continue to thrive. This is more than her journey. It's a glimpse into the future of autism research, a hope for countless families, and a testament to the limitless potential that lies within every child.
Okay, yeah, no, I very much found it. And two things. And this is going to be really complex, but you're going to want to know what the bottom line is. One of them, the laboratory found as well. It's a known disorder. It's clearly abnormal. It's the main cause of her disease.
Yeah, I think that for many of the things that she's done, that we've played a massive game of whack-a-mole, where one lab will show differences or issues, and then another lab will show something else, and we'll try to identify those issues, right? And try to go after it. But we don't always know what the bigger picture is. And this is the first chance that I can think of where you and I could actually know an answer.
Absolutely.
We'll know the answer to, it's a little scary.
It's very scary.
We want there to be a clear, identifiable answer, and we want to be able to treat it.
Correct.
But also we're risking knowing
That
the
is very
fact
scary.
that there could be an evidentiary thing that has nothing that can be done about it.
Correct.
And we're eternal optimists. We want there to always be hope in something that we can try next. So it's kind of putting all of my chips into the middle of the table a little bit right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not scared of it. I'd rather know.
I
Either
feel that
way.
way too.
I mean, no doubt about it. I mean,
I feel like I have to know.
Exactly. And not only that, is that it may be, even if it's a bad outcome, that's today's outcome with the way technology's going, and you never know. There might be something down the road, and you don't have to guess. You're going to be looking out for that. If you see something 5 years from now where you hear that thing that in today's technology is a problem just got fixed.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that, and you know where to go now.
Right.
Yeah.
I have a very nervous excitement going into this.
Correct.
Life has a way of leading us exactly where we need to be. When Lindsey was diagnosed at 3 years old, I was told she would never speak again, never have academic or social success, but God had a different plan. Through the years of research, therapies, and trial and error, Lindsey improved beyond what anyone thought was possible. Witnessing her transformation, I knew I had to help other families walking the same road. That calling led me to a special needs community where I became a resource professional and advocate, connecting with experts and families worldwide. And that's when I met Dr. Bowles. Dr. Bowles' research unlocked a new chapter in understanding autism. For years, we had relied on lab work and dietary changes to manage symptoms. But genetics offered something different, concrete answers, a map to understand what made Lindsey unique. The moment I heard him speak, I knew this was the next step in Lindsey's journey. The first step was preparing for genetic testing. We had gathered Lindsey's full medical history, past lab work, and detailed notes on her developmental progress. It was overwhelming, but we knew that every piece of information mattered. We scheduled our first consultation with Dr. Bowles, hopeful that we were about to uncover something life-changing. Lindsey, step forward. Get closer.
Hello.
Say hi to Dr. Bowles.
Hi,
Hello.
Dr. Bowles.
How old are you?
Hi. 13.
Okay. Gonna be 14 soon.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Talking with Dr. Bowles was freeing. We weren't just guessing anymore. He listened, analyzed, and reassured us that science would reveal a path forward.
Not many people will look at the back end of the computer and look at the entire DNA sequence themselves and then make recommendations based on things that never may, in some cases, never been seen before. But I find a lot of new disorders.
No, I think that the plan is good. All we're going to be doing is implementing the supplements, changing our diet around some, and then doing the blood testing to confirm where the supplements should be, and waiting for the results of the other tests to come back.
Right.
And that's a pretty easy game plan to put in place.
It is. Yep. It may get harder depending on what I find, but at this point,
Well, I'm eager to hear what you find. I want to know what you find and what you don't find. The process was simple but required precision. We carefully followed every instruction, knowing these small vials held answers we had been seeking for over a decade. And do the last one?
Yeah, are we done?
Almost. All right, ready? Once the samples were sent off, the hardest part began, the waiting. Were we nervous, excited, maybe a little of both? As the days turned into weeks, we wondered, what would we find? Would there be answers we hadn't considered? Would we learn something we weren't ready for? But deep down we knew that knowledge is power. And then the results came in. What we had been waiting for was finally here. So with great anticipation, I've waited for many months for the email to come that says the results are in and that your appointment has been scheduled. And when I got that email a couple of days ago, I just smiled from ear to ear, and then the gravity of the situation hit me like a ton of bricks. I don't know how to put it into words. I still struggle with why I feel the way I do right now, but I think it has something to do with I didn't know what I was getting into when Lindsey got her initial autism diagnosis. The language of how well she would do seemed harsh. It seemed negative, but there would be these little seedlings of hope along the way of parents that had done well or that children had defied the odds. And I held on to the hope and to those defying odds stories as inspiration for us to potentially do the same. And Lindsey has made great progress. And I still don't know what her future holds. I often say, but if anything, the last 10 years indicates that her future should be bright with the bleakness that they painted at the initial diagnosis to where she is now. But now on the precipice of sitting here on the cusp of knowing her genetic and DNA structure and what those contribute, it has a different gravity. And I know that I will have answers, and answers are something I've sought for a long time. But man, I really want those answers to be something that we can work on. I want those answers to be something that, isn't unsurmountable. I feel like maybe I have a little bit of PTSD from the last time we went into one of these conversations with them telling us that she had all of these different diagnoses and that she would never speak again. She would never have any academic or social gains. And we've gotten past that. And I know that this doctor is a hopeful doctor, one that's looking for solutions and not looking for excuses. But I almost feel like knowing that his hope is so great for all of his patients that it fills me with a little bit more fear that if he sees there to be a problem, then it would be a significant problem for us to overcome. And so it's just a candid moment that I wanted to share with you so that for any of you that have ventured into this or you decided that this is the next step for your family, I wanted you to know not to be surprised if you end up having this emotional revelation the way that I have, because for the last 5 months, I've done nothing but eagerly look forward to this day. And then that email kind of amped up my anxiety, enthusiasm, excitement, all of that is still there. But man, I didn't see the wave of anxiety and nervousness that would come with it. So best way I can describe this moment in time is that if you've studied for a final and you've studied really hard for it, and your teacher has graded it, and she's about to hand it back to you, and you're not sure what that score is going to be, that's how I feel right now. Only the stakes are so much higher than any one paper or any one class or exam. I just want to be honest and real in documenting some of the experiences that we've had. And this one today, we'll be filming our results consultation with Dr. Bowles. And I wanted you to know what the thought process was just a few hours prior. If you are doing this with your child, though, and this is something that you're seeking too, I will tell you that the constant thing in the back of my mind right now is 11 years in the making. 11 years in the making, I've been waiting for these answers. And if you've been waiting for good, solid information and answers, then you're on the right path to getting them. Now we all just have to say an extra prayer, keep our fingers crossed, and hope that the information that comes back is something that is surmountable. Sending love to everybody that's out there in this boat and trying to figure out the best way forward for their child. See you on the other side.
Did you get the results? You know what we're going to talk about at all?
I know that you have results. I do not have the results. You're the carrier of that for me.
I'm the carrier of the results. I found it.
Are we doing it?
Oh. Okay. Yeah, no, I very much found it. And two things. And this is going to be really complex, but you're going to want to know what the bottom line is. One of them, the laboratory found as well. It's a known disorder. It's clearly abnormal. It's the main cause of her disease, probably. I don't know how to treat it. Not knowing how to treat it doesn't change the fact that we can still treat the pathways and have been.
Okay.
That doesn't change that at all. It means I can't change it at the genetic level. The other one is a gene I've never heard of before. I had to learn all about, and so are you.
Okay.
There's almost nothing known about it whatsoever. It does appear to be an autism gene because there are other cases in the, not in the literature, but on the databases. And we might be able to do something about that. Okay? So that's kind of the bottom line situation. But hello, Lindsey. But none of this takes away from the fact that we can still treat it on a system-wide basis, on a pathway basis.
For the next 2 hours, Dr. Bowles carefully walked us through the results of Lindsey's genetic testing. He took his time explaining each detail and helping us understand what the data meant for her ongoing progress. We discovered two key elements at play. one that presented a challenge beyond our ability to change, and another that could significantly improve with the right interventions. While the first factor might seem discouraging, Dr. Bowles reassured us that optimizing other areas of her health could help counterbalance that limitation. This meeting was a reality check. There was no single miraculous solution, but there was something just as powerful: real science-backed hope. As Matt and I said at the start of this journey, science is always evolving. Now, not only do we have a plan for today, but we also know what advancements to watch for in the future.
If you want to, an overview, what did I just say? What does this really mean? I found it, and I know some things I can do things to make her better. This is all good news. And I found nothing else.
If I had to summarize where we stand after 5 months of implementing the first wave of lab-based strategies and supplements, I'd do it through the words of someone who had no idea we were making any changes: Lindsey's teacher. She rarely sends notes home, so when we received it, it was both unexpected and incredibly meaningful. Her words were more than just observation. They were validation. A quiet but powerful testament to the progress Lindsey was making. Without knowing about the intervention, she noticed something different, something better. It was a moment that reinforced our belief that the work we were doing was truly making a difference. Hello, Jeanette. I wanted to give some updates on Lindsey. All good. She seems to have more focus and independence this year with some tasks. She does morning work fully independent now. She is able to do math or ELA skill-based games in front of the class with little distraction and better focus than last year. She also has better resilience and patience when dealing with longer feeling days that have more back-to-back subjects. She's using her words when she needs a snack, when she needs a break, and she's doing better using kind words when she needs her space. We finally had a roadmap, clear insights into how her body processed nutrients, what supplements would help, and where her greatest challenges stemmed from. It wasn't another treatment, it was Lindsey's personalized path to thriving. Lindsey has come so far, from nonverbal toddler to a bright, funny, determined young woman. And now, with science as our guide, we were prepared to take the next steps to ensure her future is filled with even more possibility. This journey isn't just about our family. It's about hope for every family searching for answers. Science and faith have brought us here, and we can't wait to see what comes next.